Right, so welcome back to the Mercedes series. After a very good opening Grand Prix at Bahrain, we are hoping for a much better, um, well, not better, but a much more competitive race with the front two in Saudi Arabia. But we do need a lot of improvements before then. We have just fitted a new suspension to the car. What we are going to end up doing is actually I want to quickly look at possibly building some facilities and getting ourselves a little bit more. So how do we go about this then? Usually it's this sort of thing I want. If we go for, how much would a wind tunnel? 12 million. Do we have 12 million? Where's it tell? 47. Oh yeah, we do. Let's upgrade that then. Always good to have a top class wind tunnel. It looks like we're heading straight towards Saudi Arabia. Bonington. Here we go. Performance targets. So qualifying position. I mean, I'd like to think we're both. We'll go Q3. Surely we've got to get into Q3 with both drivers. Finish position. 6th. I think we could do that. I do think we could do that. I'd be gutted if we couldn't. Put it that way. I'd be absolutely gutted if we couldn't. We are going to simulate practice for now because I actually haven't tied it down particularly. Not a fan of Jeddah though in general. Not a fan of it. But who knows? I might like it after this if we have a good Grand Prix. We will be hearing "Get in there, Lewis" at the end of the Grand Prix. Probably not. The Red Bulls and the Ferraris are insanely quick compared to us. Right. So we are going to skip the practice sessions. Simulate qualifying, please. Once I've got them down to a T off camera, then I will start doing them during this. But I just don't do them particularly well at the moment. So we will just... Yes, we do. Well in, Crofty. Right, we need a good qualifying session, that's for sure. So if we're going off practice 3, 6th and 7th, Valtteri Bottas is competitive as well. Charles Leclerc looks quick. The Ferraris just in general look like they've got a slight edge on the Red Bulls, but then you've got this massive gap going back to Bottas, Hamilton, Russell. So if anything, the car parts not just getting well, but the setup confidence isn't great. Maybe I could have done better than that. I probably could have, in all honesty, but you know, you never know, do you, until you've clicked it, I suppose. So we will manage qualifying, confirm. Copy. Right. I'm not going to bother sending them out for 2 runs in Q1 because they should have enough about them to get out of Q1 quite comfortably. So we will just speed this along a little bit. I might end up regretting that decision, but I'd like to think I'm not going to. And when it hits about 5 minutes. We'll send them out. Everyone should have done a lap time apart from us at that point, and hopefully we get to see around about where we are. Basically, when everyone's done a lap time, I'll send us out. But at the moment, not everyone's doing a lap time, and that is a little worrying. We'll get to know around about where we're going to be anyway. Ocon, that's not a fair representation, I don't think, of where he is. So we're going to start sending them out now. Because then, if we do need to go again, we can do. So, out goes Russell, and we'll leave it a little bit, just... Now we'll send out... Is that rain? 10%? Is that rain? Surely that can't be rain. Surely not. So, either way, if we try and get that off, there we go. So, George is ahead of the curve here. And we need to know... Alright, here we go. Now we are the only cars not to have done a lap. So we will have an idea. I'd like to think we're going to be in this little collective here. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Around there would be absolutely perfect for us. So where are we going to end up being? As you know, Russell's already on his lap, isn't he? So we can look. I don't know where the sectors are on this track, I won't lie. If we slow it down, we'll have a proper look now. Sector 1, apparently it's not. There we go, it's 33.02. Lewis isn't going to be too far behind him. What can he offer? 32.9. So Lewis has the edge in Sector 1. Lewis has the edge. I reckon there could be a few crashes on this track. I won't lie. So Sector 2 is a 28.6 from George. What can we see from Lewis now? 28.6 from George. So 28.6 from Lewis. And they've pretty much done the exact same time in Sector 2. George now is on the straight towards the line. Where's he going to put himself? So 28.1. That puts him 5th. That puts him 5th. We will not go out again. I don't think. Or will we? Lewis is coming round now. Will he go ahead of George? He will. He will indeed. So, oh yeah, no, we're comfortable. We're comfortable. We won't bother going out again. We'll speed this up. Get to the end of the session. We should be in Q2 quite comfortably. We don't need to reconfigure it because we aren't going out again. Yeah, I know, mate. Don't you worry. We're just waiting for all these guys to put their lap times in. And there you go. Comfortably through to Q2. 5th and 6th. We are basically a second off the pace, which is still a worry and will always be a little bit of a worry. But George isn't too far off of Lewis, which is good. That is good. We don't want him being too far off him. Now we just have to make sure we get into Q3, which again, I mean, we shouldn't struggle too much with, if I'm honest. So we'll speed it along again. And we'll probably just do the one run again. We'll probably just do the one run again. I don't know why I started thinking it was going to be rain in Saudi Arabia. It's just so unlikely. And as we just wait now for our time to send our boys out. Which again is going to be about the 6-minute marker, I think. Here we go, right. This time we're going to send out Lewis first. Let him get away. And then we'll send out George. And we'll watch it a bit faster speed this time. but this is Lewis. So realistically, from where we were, we'd be looking at 4th and 5th, about a second off the pace. That's where we're looking at realistically. Be great if we could make it. So he goes to start his lap. George has got quite a way still to get round here. In all fairness, he's a way away from actually being in this. Let's make it a little bit, sort of slow it down now. So he comes to sector 1. It's a 32.9 again from Lewis. I think that's what he did last time. And George has just started his lap, so we won't really need to check his time just yet. Go on, Lewis. Produce for me a decent lap time, so I ain't got to worry. Because we have got to worry a little bit, because Sainz is in the red. So Sainz will improve. So we've got to put in a decent time. 28.6 in sector 2. As George comes up to the end of sector 1. A 32.9. So that's a faster sector 1 than he produced in Q1. I think it's a faster sector 1 and faster sector 2 from Lewis, to be fair. As he comes to the line now, where can he put himself? 28 dead. He puts himself 4th. And he's only 7/10 off Verstappen. I'll have a quick look at George now. As he's a 28.6. Slightly quicker again in sector 2. But he's still down in terms of overall lap time. He needs to find someone in sector 3 if he's going to beat Lewis. What can he do? Come around the final corner now. So Lewis did a 28.096. George does a 28.1. And it isn't enough. And he does slot into 5th. But we should be through. I think. We should be through. We'll just watch a couple of these times come in now. Just to make sure. Because we're going to drop like a lead balloon, I feel. And seeing a couple of these times is helpful. Although it's not showing a representative time, it's just showing a, you know, but a few people coming through. Yeah, we're safe. We are safe. So that's all good. In the end, Carlos Sainz did improve to go to 3rd. And both of our drivers improved in Q2, which is all you can really ask for. Shaving off. I mean, George found more than Lewis did. But then again, George did do a much slower time than Lewis in Q1. But that, did he shave off more? Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong numbers there. I was going to say, I was looking at blooming Sergio Perez. Ultimately, any shocks? Schumacher's out, Norris out, Magnussen out, Tsunoda out. No, there's no real shocks overall. Not like last time when Sergio Perez was out in Q1. That's not happened here. Not at all. If we look at... That was practice 1. We've got to come up with a system for these now and how we're going to do it. Oh no, it's Q3. I am in a world of my own today. I have been up since 4 AM, so let me off. But ultimately, we'll see where we can qualify. Again, we'll wait to the end. We'll do 1 lap because I don't see the point in us doing more than 1 lap, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you. So we'll just do the 1 lap at the end of Q3 because we're not going to get pole or anything like that. That's never going to happen for us. So we'll wait. We'll send out George first this time. And Lewis can follow him out. And we will watch George. Just Speed up till he gets to the point where it's worth watching anyway. Here we go. He's on board. What can George produce? Can he take more time off and get closer to Lewis? It's the question everybody's asking. Oh, George. Oh, I've messed up. I feel so sorry for George. He's come into traffic. Like, the Alpine needs to get out of the way, and he finally does, but he's already cost him a lot of time. Is Lewis in traffic as well, I take it? Oh no, Lewis isn't in traffic. He may well catch up to the cars in front though. George is catching up to another 33.7. That is a shocking Sector 1. He will be qualifying in 10th. Yeah, I've let him down there. Lewis is probably the one worth watching, because he hasn't quite been caught up in traffic yet. That Ferrari needs to stay out of the way a bit here. And he has to get off the throttle, does he? I feel. He's catching up to him, but the Ferrari does get out of the way. It's a 32.9. Okay. Oh, I've messed up big time here. This is what happens when you try and be clever. We're going to have to make up for it on strategy. That's for sure. We're going to have to make it. Who's going to, I think Russell's going to finish higher than Lewis here. I think Russell's going to finish higher than Lewis. He's gone quicker than Bottas, but only just. It's a poor lap from Bottas, that. We have messed up Quali, and I can only apologise to him, because it is completely my fault. I should have waited a little longer. And yeah, Hamilton's well off the pace. Bottas will beat Russell, you feel, unless Russell holds him up. Yeah, I know it's the end of the session, mate. Don't you worry. Bottas didn't improve? Bottas didn't improve. So Russell starts P8, which is a slight victory in all of this. So Russell will start P8 as a slight victory. But Hamilton, he's got every right to feel a bit of grief with me there, because that was a really poor qualifying. And that was a shocking decision from me. Max Verstappen, we're just waiting for him to cross the line now to see if he can get pole. He can't. He can go second on the grid. But Guan Yu Zhou starting in 6th. Alonso in 5th. Fantastic for them. Fantastic. But really, really disappointing decision from me there. Really poor. And it's cost us probably 5th and 6th. Instead, we're starting 8th and 10th. So, yeah, a lot of work to be done. Race day, we need to... Yeah, we need to make a good decision. Yeah, cheers, Karun. Oh. Can't believe I bottled that. Can't believe I bottled that. Really poor for your second Grand Prix to make a mistake like that. Really poor. Strategy will come on into it now. Yeah, I'll skip this bit because I'm just... I mean, I haven't even picked a strategy. I've messed up here, haven't I? I've messed up here. We have no strategy. So I need to basically make a strategy up on the spot. I'll be able to do it. So Hamilton is in 10th. Russell has already lost position. He's down in 9th. Yeah, well, you need to do better, George. Come on, George. We've got Hamilton right behind us. Let's have a look how it happened. So, Bottas. Oh, he got caught on the curb. He started really well. He actually got past the AlphaTauri. But he got caught on the curb and both cars went back past him. That's poor from George. He is right behind Bottas, but Hamilton's right behind him. So we are going to put him on to overtake. Yeah, come on, George. Surely you can have a go at Bottas. He's on medium tyres. He's on a different strategy completely to us. Down the inside now. Oh, a twitch in the steering. We're proper going for this because we're going to have to put him on harvest at some point. We're going to put him on neutral because it is not going to work. Come on, George. He's having another look, is he? No, we haven't got the straight line speed. We haven't got the straight line speed to have a proper go at the Alfa, which is really frustrating. Alonso's already out of DRS range of Perez, which is something. As soon as DRS hits, we will be, you know, on it. And let's not forget it, Hamilton is right behind his teammate. We don't really want to get caught in a situation. He's pulling a gap over Norris. If he could get to the point where he's got Norris out of DRS range, that would really help. Well, both Mercs, to be fair. But we need to be looking. We're going to do different strategies, I think, for the drivers. So we're going to speed up this stint a little bit. Because right now, I'm just caught in a bit of two minds. We're kind of stuck a little bit. Gonna have a look at George as he's getting right up because they're battling. They're on medium tyres. They're battling. So it's Gasly. Oh no, he's got DRS, has he, or is it next lap? It's this lap. So come on, George. Have a go with him. Down the inside here, George Russell. Oh, can he get around the outside? No, he gets squeezed out by Gasly. Hamilton is watching all this behind. And he's got Norris right behind him. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's that close. No, he's fallen back again. But we can watch this from Russell. We'll go back into overtake. Come on, George. We do not want to be in a position where we're stuck behind the AlphaTauri, who's just losing time on Bottas. Come on, George. He's just... This track's so hard to overtake on, and you can see it because George just cannot get anywhere near being where he needs to make the move on Pierre Gasly, and it just means we're falling away from both the Alfa Romeos. George now another look, but he's had to back out of it again as he goes as another look. And Lewis, in all this time, I mean, are we not allowed to tell him to switch? He's got DRS. Lewis is going for it on George. Lewis is going for it on George. He's side by side, but he's boxed in by Pierre. They're three abreast. Lewis. Oh my God, they're side by side. All three of them. George is past Pierre. George is past Pierre. Lewis is past Pierre. Fantastic from both drivers. We'll watch the replay of that because that was sexy. Look at this. Wheel-to-wheel racing. And both Mercs take the AlphaTauri in the same move. We need to get someone to use their tyre up a little bit more. I think I'm going to make that person be George. Get him to use his tyre up and then he can go on to the hards. And just a little bit so he comes in a lap earlier. He's got +5 laps. Bloody push for that. Lewis, we're aiming to be a bit more competitive at the back end of the race. Ocon's locked up. We're going to come out of this now. Watch George, who is right back behind Valtteri Bottas, where he was earlier in the race. And again, George, not really comfortable with overtaking, it seems. Although, he did make a very good overtake on Gasly. It'd be nice to see him make another overtake. We might have to get him onto deploy in a minute. Onto harvest. Hello. Hello. Straight line speed. Side by side. But Valtteri will have the inside line in this corner. And he will probably hold on. Come on, George. Come on, George. Oh, he's backed out. He's backed out of it. It was a nice attempt. It was a nice attempt. He's just got to try and catch back up to Valtteri Bottas now. Going to use some of this ERS that Hamilton has. He's going to go on to overtake. And he's going to try and get George. Because I feel like Lewis is possibly a better overtaker. Come on. We've got a nice gap to Kevin Magnussen behind. Let's go a little bit. Let's go. I mean, Lewis, if anything, is losing time to the cars in front. No, he's getting a little bit. George now. So we'll go on board. Right behind Valtteri again. He's side by side with him. Can he get him down into this corner? Has he backed out? Has Bottas backed out? Yes, he has. Next up is Hamilton on Bottas. Come on, Lewis. Yes. No, he's going to have the inside line. Oh, and Bottas will probably hold on. Or will he? No, the traction. And Lewis is up into 8th place. Next up, the Alpines. Come on, George. Go on, we'll watch that because that was actually quite a nice move from Lewis. Side by side through the corner. And it was just the traction out the corner, as you can see, that allowed him to get past Valtteri Bottas. Brilliant move. Brilliant move. Just what we want to be seeing. Now, it's can George Russell get past the old Wiley, Fernando Alonso. It's the next big move in all of this. So we'll speed it up a little bit until it looks like he might. Here we go. No. Maybe coming out. George is having a look. Looks to me like Guan Yu Zhou is struggling a little bit. Ah, George, come on. Alonso's going to get past Zhou before George gets a chance to properly have a look at it. Zhou's on hards. Zhou's on hards. No wonder he's struggling. And here we go with the DRS. Surely there's no answer for George Russell here. And I think Hamilton might oh no, Bottas! Bottas! Wow. Lewis Hamilton's lost the position to Bottas. And Bottas also took Guan Yu Zhou. We need to put that on neutral, don't we? And we go, well, watch this, because this was sexy from Bottas. So not only does he take Hamilton down the straight, he also takes his teammate, and even had a quick look at George Russell, which didn't quite happen. George is, I don't know what's happened, but he's so off the pace of Alonso now. He's about 1.4 seconds off the pace of him. He needs to catch up. Was it really Zhao was that slow on the hard tyres, maybe? I don't know. Lewis is looking, he's got to try and get back past them now. I will say he's not really eating the tyres any more than Lewis was. I'm going to put him on push. We've got some fuel to burn. Let's bloody burn it. Come on, Lewis. Can he? He needs to get Zhao, because otherwise he's just going to start falling behind Bottas way too much. We want to get into the position where we are, where we need to be sometime soon. Come on, Lewis. We need to put him on harvest of that, though. That's the annoying bit. We're looking at it. Everything's kind of starting to bunch up again. And it is as you were, really. Lewis isn't going to get past Zhao, it seems, and Russell isn't making enough progress on Alonso. He's using more fuel, he's being more aggressive driving, but he's not getting close enough. Who is getting close enough, though? I might have just missed a move from Hamilton there. Russell is right on the Alpine. Off Fernando Alonso. And he's going to look here. Surely not. He's going to go for it. Can he? Yes, he can. George Russell up to 5th place. Brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move from George. Fantastic stuff. And now, oh wow, Alonso's really struggling. And Hamilton just doesn't know where to go. We're going to put him back on standard because we want him to last a little longer. There we go. So George Russell, after all that, is only 6.9 seconds off Sergio Perez, up ahead. We're still waiting for Lewis, who's really struggling with the overtakes. I was thinking Russell will maybe be better at the overtaking side of things, and he's really not. But Fernando Alonso is also one of those that is just difficult to get past, isn't he, I suppose. George Russell's actually getting caught here. He's getting caught by Valtteri Bottas, who has passed George. He has passed George. We're now going to speed up to get to the pit window, because we're going to have to make this up on the spot, which is not something we want to do too often. Russell has got Bottas back. And he's got a nice little gap on him as well. Hamilton is still stuck in 9th. Lewis Hamilton is stuck right now, it seems. Look, if we click on him, he is right behind him. This is this little group of 3. Oh, hang on. Can he get Alonso here? There's one. There's one for Lewis. He could potentially get Zhao as well. Oh, surely. he's not got, even with DRS, we haven't got the straight line speed that the Alfa Romeos have. Unbelievable. Okay, we're going to look now to bring in George Russell. I'm thinking hard tyre. 45 laps it's supposed to last. Take us to the end. So that's what's happening behind George. Oh, this is Hamilton, sorry. This is George. Hamilton's got past Yao. Bottas will get past... Bottas has got past Russell. And Lewis is going an extra lap. That's what I do know. So we'll wait for him to go past this window. And we will... Oh god, Zhao's got past again now. Now the pit options is again hards. And we're going to one-stop it. We're going to one-stop it. So George is back out in 15th. We just need to change everything, make sure it's all on standard, which it is. Lewis is back out now, just behind him. And everything's bog standard with him as well. And then we'll look at how things start. We've actually undercut Bottas. We've undercut Bottas, and so has Alonso. That is fantastic stuff. Alonso's right behind Lewis. Put him on to defend. So he'll have to try and defend. Oh shit, we're going to have to harvest it. Quick look. Has everyone gone on to hards? Yeah, everyone's one-stopping. Everyone's one-stopping. They've just gone later than us. Okay. So ultimately, I think Alonso is going to get the better of us this race, if I'm honest with you. Like, he's so quick in this race as Alonso. So quick. And we're just going to see and try and save tyres. So we've got quicker tyres at the end. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh wow, there's this little mass of cars. Absolute massive cars. I mean, he's just taken like 2 or 3 cars in one move. Absolutely insane stuff from Alonso. Right, so Hamilton's now lost a place to Bottas. So these cars that are up in front. And now Russell has overtaken Ricciardo. Oh, it's a good move, this. This is a lovely move from George Russell. Fantastic stuff. And now we just need to play it safe, essentially. I don't know what's going on. We're right behind Tsunoda with George. If we go into this view, we might get a view of potential overtake or of him being overtaken by Valtteri Bottas. Come on, George. Hamilton's just gained a place against Ricciardo, which is this move again. That's a nice one. Down the inside. We just got to keep going. Keep going. Keep pushing. Alonso's done really well. He's gone up. And George here. His fresh hards are better than Tsunoda's hards. And it's a good move. It's a good move. And now Tsunoda's looking to get him back. If Hamilton could get Bottas before Bottas gets Tsunoda, then fantastic. We're going to put him on push. Because we need to. Because we need to. Go on. Go on, Hamilton. He's going to get him. Go on. Squeeze him out. Go on. Off the exit. Like before. Come on. No, the straight line speed. The Alfa Romeos are insane in a straight line. Guan Yu Zhao is going to be where he ends up. And with us all scrapping, it's perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. We're going to put overtake on. We are going for this with Lewis now. So George is back up to 10th. Now, as far as I'm aware, Zhao, Magnussen, Ocon, Schumacher, all after pit, and so does Tsunoda. So that would put us about 7th and 9th or 10th, I think. Just got to keep an eye on the fuel. Go on. Go on, Lewis. Go on, Lewis. Oh, he's had to back out. I would have thought Bottas should have backed out there, personally. Oh, and now Bottas is going to get the move done on Tsunoda, is he? No, he's not. No, he's not. But Bottas will now. He will now. And we need to get past Tsunoda now. And we will. Oh, with ease. With absolute ease. Because Bottas is setting off after George Russell. He's already on that, so yeah. So even on push, we need a little more. We need a little more because we're just not that quick around here, it seems. We just don't seem particularly quick. Because Bottas is quicker. Go on, Lewis. Ooh. Fastest lap of the race goes to Lewis Hamilton. Brilliant stuff. Put it back onto balance. You don't want to lose it all. So there's, hang on, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 27 seconds. That's how far we are. Essentially 27 seconds. That's from Ocon. Oh no, that's from Zhao. 27 seconds from Zhao. Go on, George, you can get him. George is behind Mick, who's on old hards. We need to get past him quickly because we need to stay on Fernando Alonso. Fuel is bouncing back quickly. He's using it, but he's not using it in the right sections, is he? So we're going to harvest that. Go on. Come on, George. Come on, George. Oh, no. He's bailed out of it. I can't believe he's bailed out of it. He had him. He actually had him. And now, Valtteri Bottas is a right threat. Lewis! Oh, I thought Lewis might have him on the outside then. He might have him here. Get in there, Lewis. Come on. I think Guan Yu Zhou has actually pulled off a fantastic strategy here of going hards first. Just watch that properly. And we're through. We've got a lot of work though. We've got a hell of a lot of work to be done. Russell once again right on the back of Mick Schumacher. Come on. Get past, because otherwise Alonso's going to go, and we do not need Alonso going just yet. Surely the move is coming from George. Problem is, he's still getting DRS from Alonso. That's our issue right now, is he's still getting DRS from Alonso. George sniffing down the inside. But essentially, I don't think it's happening. No, it's not. No. You're never making it go around the outside, mate. Surely. No. Tell you something though, Hamilton might be saying thank you very much in a minute. Bottas is also part of the question here. Mick Schumacher's getting past Alonso. And it's all a little tight. This is really a bit sticky bum time, to be honest. Because he's still got plenty of fuel to use. We're going to push now a little bit as well. Let's see what happens. Oh! George Russell's past Alonso. Oh, all down the inside. Nicely done. Does Hamilton follow him through? No. Hamilton does stay ahead of Bottas as well. All this battling though is costing us when it comes to Zhao. It's costing us when it comes to Zhao. Like, let's look at the time to Zhao. 12. Bottas loses. We're actually saving fuel right now. How's our tyres looking? They're looking okay. Put it maybe on aggressive. Start going for it a little bit more. So Zhao's pit, and he has come out behind Lewis, but he's going to be on soft tyres. Sorry? Yellow flag. Alonso. Alonso is out. Let's have a look. I mean, we can't even see it. Oh, he's just gone into the wall. So it is a yellow flag. What lap are we on? 33. How long do softs go? Is it worth going on to a soft tyre? Is Zhao gone to softs or has he gone to mediums? Zhao's gone to mediums. I'm wondering whether it's worth pitting. Are we not having a safety car? No, we're not. We are not having a safety car for that, apparently. So, we just go. We go as is. Russell, currently P5. Bottas, Hamilton. And Hamilton's trying to get past Valtteri, and it's just going to allow Guan Yu Zhou into this mix right now. Although George Russell is... Well, he was opening the gap to Bottas. And Hamilton's passed! Hamilton has passed! Massive. Is it there again? I think it's... Oh, he had it done before he even got into the corner. He had it before he even got into the corner. So, Lewis is through. He now has his teammate ahead of him. We need to put him back onto balance for fuel. His tyres are still looking okay. He's passed his teammate. Lewis has passed George. And George is now under pressure from Valtteri Bottas. This Grand Prix has been absolutely insane. Guan Yu Zhou has actually fallen further behind on those mediums. What we don't want is we don't want George losing DRS. Because if he loses DRS, Valtteri becomes in play. Like really in play. So we need George to stay within DRS of Lewis. Valtteri's right on them. They're both right. It's this group of three. They're right on it. Oh, well, there's nothing we can really do. And that's where we're looking at now. There's literally nothing we can really do. I'm not fussed by a lockup, mate. So George Russell is going to go for it on Lewis. And he's going to make it stick. So George Russell back in it to 5th place ahead of teammate Lewis Hamilton. Lewis now, well, he'll have to go again once he's saved his fuel up. I'm going to put them both down to standard. Just watch there, you know. It's a good move from George. But Bottas is still in play. Zhou is just falling back. It's literally a battle between these three for 5th. And right now we are 5th and 6th. And we want to be... that's where we want to be. You know, we want to be at least 5th and 6th. And Bottas is definitely a threat. And Lewis is having a look here at George. He's getting a bit twitchy. I know for our chances of finishing 5th, it would make so much more sense if I turned to Lewis and said, don't fight your teammate and just make them sit. But I don't want to just make them sit. Making them sit is boring. It's not good racing. And this is good racing. This is how we find out who the better driver is. Is it George? Is it Lewis? And right now, George is on top. So now he can go push as well. Can Lewis. And George at some point will have to go off push. So we'll put Lewis on push. He can have a go. We're not going to do that. And in a minute, George will have to go off push. We're just trying to pull away from Bottas, which just seems nigh on impossible to get away from him. I know Valtteri's a very good driver, but it does just seem a little impossible. Go on, Lewis. Go on, Lewis. Down the inside, around the outside, and Lewis is ahead of George Russell now. But George is going to look to fight back down the inside here. This is fantastic racing. And George Russell gets back ahead of his teammate. Oh, this is enjoyable. This is really enjoyable. Who will come out on top? Will it be George? Will it be Lewis? Oh, Lewis is coming. He's coming at a fair rate of knots, but he's not going to get past him there. He will close right up on Lewis, though. Guan Yu Zhou definitely not a threat. The medium tyres just haven't worked for him, it seems. Lewis. George is getting held up by a Williams, who now gets out of the way, but he then holds Lewis up. So what he did to George, he's now doing to Lewis. Like, come on, mate, get out the bloody way. You're stopping a fantastic race here. Jesus Christ. A fantastic race potentially just stopped as Lewis goes a little wide through there. And he's got a lot of gaining to do because he's 1.2 seconds off the pace. We could probably keep at 1 point plus 1.7 laps. We can actually keep him on there, you know. Tires are getting a little warm. That's fine, mate. Don't you worry. We've got to try and catch up to George here, which I just don't think is going to be possible. And right now, we're forgetting we've got the potential. Valtteri's a threat because Lewis doesn't have DRS. So Valtteri's a massive threat to Lewis right now. And there you go. Valtteri with DRS flies by Lewis. And Valtteri's now a massive threat to our 5th place. He's dropped out of DRS. He's dropped out. It's fine. He's doing alright. Why should I have to drop him off? Now Zhao's tyres are kicking in. And Zhao is catching. Hamilton's back past Bottas. He is back past Bottas, but he's got a long way to go. So this is how he got back into 6th place. We're not going to see the overtake. Oh, there we go. Just about. It's a good move. It's a good move from Lewis. And we're back into 5th and 6th place. We're going to put it into defend the ERS. Because he hasn't got DRS. So we've got to defend somehow. And with 5 laps to go, Valtteri is such a threat. He's a massive threat. We're going to have to put him back down to balanced. And right now, Lewis has Valtteri Bottas on him. Literally on him. And I can only hope one of these cars is going to back right into him. We're going to have to harvest, and that's just going to put us under so much threat. But we have caught up to George. So whether George has got caught up behind someone, I don't know. But we've caught right up to him. This battle with Valtteri Bottas has been race long. Literally race long. And at some point, you just get the feeling he's got the better. I think he's got the better tyres as well if we go on here. Oh, he's got fresher tyres. You've got to fancy him to get right up and past. You've got to. He's been so quick all race, all weekend, in all fairness. And he's right there with Lewis. And Lewis is right there with George. And he's going to take both of them. Bottas has taken both Mercedes. And he's pulling away. And he's pulling away. The fresher tyres have worked a treat for Valtteri Bottas. He's not quite pulling away. Not quite yet. Take him off harvest, back to neutral. So watching this, George is right back on the back of Valtteri now. And George's going to go for a move. Go on. Go on, George is passed. Go on, Lewis. You've got DRS, mate. Why aren't you gaining quickly enough? Wow, Bottas has dropped 2 seconds off Russell. Yeah, I know, mate. We're staying out, mate. Why would I box you at this point? Why would we box at this point? He's got a comfortable gap. It's now between Hamilton and Bottas for 6th. Can Hamilton make it stick? We're going to put it in overtake mode. Go on. He's in neutral. Overtake press. Surely. Oh, Lewis, we've stopped gaining. Three laps remaining. Who is going to get that 6th spot? Is it going to be Hamilton or is it going to be Valtteri Bottas? I think Russell has 5th secure. Come on, Lewis. Please. Come on, Lewis. You can get him. Go on. Go on, Lewis. Get in there, Lewis. Get in there. Bottas is right behind him, though. We'll put him on aggressive. Push as much as you can. I know your grip's going, but we need to stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas now. Beating George is not in the question. George is up the road. He's going to get 5th. All Lewis has to do is stay ahead of Bottas, who is right behind him. Bottas is through. Bottas is through. We're going to go back because I think we're destroying the tyres. Bottas is actually streaking away from Lewis here. Oh my God, Bottas is on Russell. Our tyres are completely shot, and that is why Bottas is such a threat. So it's overtake mode. We're going to watch it from Lewis's point of view because he's a little further back. Bottas is right behind George. He's got more grip, and you can see it. Charles Leclerc has won the Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be down. I think it's this bit. Is it was DRS or is it the next bit? So we've beaten Zhao. That was important. But right now it's this battle in front. Valtteri, is he going to go for a dive? I think Valtteri's going to pip him to the line. He does. Valtteri pips Russell to the line. And it's a 6th and 7th place finish for us in Saudi Arabia. That was a little disappointing, if I'm honest. That was a little disappointing. We've done everything we can there, though. Valtteri Bottas was just insanely quick. Absolutely insanely quick. And that's how close it was in the end between them. It's not as close as we thought. And that's the best time. There we go. It is very close. Well, hang on. So we're closer to them than he is, yet he finished above us. I don't get how that works. Oh well. Oh well. It's 8 and 6 points to Mercedes, which leaves George 4th in the Drivers' Championship on 20 points level with now Sergio Perez, and Lewis Hamilton is in 6th. And in the Constructors' Championship, we sit in 3rd place on 36 points. 16 ahead of Alfa Romeo and 24 behind Red Bull. Oh, he's got a development point. We will do that at the start of the next stream. But for those of you on YouTube, if you have enjoyed the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, then please do drop the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, and I'll see you guys for Australia.